Welcome back. This is D2T2. We're going to be covering My Hero Volume 2 today. We're going to do it a little bit different, keep it a little bit shorter video. So, we're going to be talking about the Heroes vs. Villains trading. I thought it was pretty unique. Definitely made me like the characters more than the first volume. As we said in our podcast, me and T definitely were very, very hung up on the characters being just mediocre at best. But you see a lot from Deku, you see a lot from Bakugo in their little battle, and then you see a lot from Ida too. He's a very interesting guy and
Mhm.
likes to role play a little bit too seriously. But I'll give it over to T because I know he has a lot to say about My Hero right now.
Yeah, so we had to re-record this for the audience. So I had to,
Sorry,
I guess I'd
sorry.
say this again, but like I said before, I have to retract what I said about My Hero being good, um, because I definitely feel like at least this last segment that we have watched or read, because I think T-Dub, did you read it or did you watch it?
I read it and I watched all the way up to season 2. I
Yeah,
think I
he's
watched
Okay,
ahead
half
of us originally.
okay,
yeah,
and then I know me and Daniel, you didn't read it, right? I know
I
you
watched
watched
it.
it. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So, but either way, the segment that we just did, I really thought they improved on some of the characters. Originally, I was hating on the costumes a lot. I guess it's just like it's more or less just still kind of goofy looking, but it's more or less something to get like used to, I guess. So people do look cooler than what they were before. Um, and as I was saying before, like I think the story definitely carries it, and I think this the USJ part of it has been very very good. Um, and yeah, it's definitely something that I think they're going to continue because they have plenty of content out now. So I'm just I'm honestly ready to kind of go to the next,
Mhm.
see what's gonna happen. So
Say what you said about the costumes. I'm just gonna interject about this before I forget it. Yeah, Deku's costume is the only one that I didn't come around to, and I'm glad that it got destroyed after that first fight.
yeah,
They stick with the PE
I agree.
clothes, and I don't want to see him in that whatever it was again. Then you look like
Yeah.
you're about to go.
I just think that the costumes are kind of cool to me because some of them kind of contribute to the quirks that people have. Like Bakugo's costume collects the nitroglycerin that his sweat emits,
Mm-hmm.
so that he can like shoot it all at once instead of just like blowing it up in his hands. So I think if they kind of show us more of that aspect, then I'll definitely like the costumes a lot more. Especially if they like help the characters out like during their fights and stuff.
Mhm.
But I just think volume 2 overall was just really good for like capturing people's attention because we go from the hero and villain training that All Might has them doing, and we see some pretty cool quirks and cool fights. And then it jumps straight over to USJ near the end of the volume, and there's just all sorts of stuff going on there too.
Oh yeah, there's tons. My views on the costume, they're with Deku's, I understand where you guys are coming from about how it is.
It's ugly.
Because I'm a little bit farther, it gets a little bit better, but not by much. It's really his thing is practicality. Um, Ida's costume is pretty wicked. I like it. It kind of looks like a knight. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, it's cool.
Bakugo's just emphasize the way he said it. He was like, "I want it to be, scary in a sense or intimidating." So that's why he chose his design for the most part. Besides collecting the nitroglycerin from his sweat, and Uraraka's is just kind of, I guess, fan service in a sense.
Yeah,
Just
hers is
curvy.
basic. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know who they're fan servicing a 15-year-old girl for, but
Well, yeah, I mean, Demon Slayer did it with, uh,
they at least
you know,
portrayed her as an adult first.
yeah, true, true. So, but no, I think everything that's going on right now, it's really cool. The heroes versus villains training is, really interesting. The way it's portrayed, and how they go into teams of two, and USJ, and towards the end of the volume is every as Daniel said, it gets crazy. There's so many things happening at one time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion, real quick on
There you go.
Ida's costume. I think it's kind of cliche because he's like, oh, my whole family are heroes and we all look the same. Blah blah blah. It's like there's a little bit of less originality in that sense to me because everyone else kind of came up with their own costumes and he's just like rebounding off of what his family's costume is.
He's really
well,
high on
and
his family name though,
Yeah,
and he
you
looks
can think
up to
of
his
it.
brother a lot.
I am gonna say this that there's a reason why he did this besides his whole family thing. But you'll find that out later.
I will also say, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool of the fact that like he's like, I gotta like this is what my family's always done. So I don't know. I'm gonna rep the colors and the style that we always have. So like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like an honor thing for them at that
Yeah.
point.
And if
to
he
be
does
able to,
become a
rep
I can
really
see
good
that side
hero,
too, yeah.
like everyone will recognize, like, hey, that's his, like whatever. I can't remember his last name, but that's like that family. Like they'll
Yeah,
recognize
like
it.
that style of armor and everything. They're like, oh, okay, so he's from that family. Okay, that makes
Mhm.
so yeah, it's like branding pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
And
So-
his brother is pretty nutty too.
Oh yeah, I'm
Well,
ready to see a lot about
We've
him.
heard he's nutty. We haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't seen turd.
I'm still
Oh.
convinced that the only one that's nutty is All Might right now. That's just me.
And that bird thing in USJ.
Oh
No,
yeah,
13's pretty nutty.
yeah. He ate his own ass. Insane.
Hey,
Say
it wasn't his fault.
no.
It was
The fight,
assisted ass eating.
the 2v2, the Bakugo and Araka, and I versus Bakugo and Ida. I thought that was really cool. I like how he did it. He had the fight between Bakugo, which they both grew, and All Might was kind of like the narrator of it, telling us like, yes,
Yeah.
he needs this. I'm gonna
Like
let him
play
fight
by
it.
play.
That he could hear everything they were saying, and then just the teamwork. You see how big brain Deku is. Well, how much his notes have came in handy. Like he knows how
His
Bakugo's
notes.
fights, and he calls him I
Yeah.
think Kuchan, and he knows how he fights. But then you see Bakugo's development through the fight. Just think of changing his direction with his explosion, and once Deku realizes he's outmatched, he's like, "All right, we're gonna get the win." And I kind of like how he catches up with Araka, and then it cuts away, so we don't hear how they're gonna do it. But then you obviously know he powers up, hits the pillar instead of hitting Deku, and that's and helps Araka win. I thought that was pretty cool. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Well, with that fight scene, it's really cool because, uh, you know, Bakugo just straight up went full villain mode. He didn't even. He was just already like that. He's like his big thing is he's not gonna let Deku win at all. He's super super competitive. That's for sure. And he feels like Deku's been lying to him or betrayed him in a sense.
Mhm.
With the sudden upbringing of Deku's powers, or Deku's shared powers with All Might. But his because Bakugo's smart too. He is. He's definitely is comparative, but Deku's just ridiculously smart. He knows everything or damn near everything about anything. So, those notes really did help. And even though that cut away during the over the intercom thing, the intercom talk between him and Uraka, it all came to be what it is, and they won it. They beat the villains.
Daniel, you guys gonna say?
So yeah,
Add?
one thing that I want to add about that fight is Uraraka. You kind of think of her ability like she can make things float or make people float.
She
But-
manipulates gravity.
Yeah, one thing you don't really think about until you see it in that fight is that she can wield things that are like extremely heavy once she makes them light.
Good
Mhm.
pillar.
Like she makes the pillar anti-gravity and then she can wield it like a baseball bat, and she like swings and blasts all the rocks. That's why they were able to win, is because Deku freed the pillar and she was able to utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah, I was also gonna point out the fact that with the pillar, Daniel kind of jumped and got there before I could. But Yeah, I thought it was really cool that she's like not exactly gonna like outpower you, I guess, in a way, but they can use her in a way that's very like I think I was saying before, she's like a support kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
person. Um, and yeah, and I mean, she basically turned a bunch of pebbles into meteors, cracked it like a baseball bat. I thought that was pretty cool. I also kind of going back to what T Dub was saying, the villain side. Some of like even like the heroes that were like the pro heroes that were there were saying like his villain side for Bakugo was really showing, and like how he was how it was basically also kind of like blinding him at like the fact of like what was actually going on around him. Um, and I'm kind of curious how that relationship's going to go between him and Deku. Uh, I really want to see them become friends at some point, and I think that's where it's going to end up going. But I'm curious about how long it's going to take to get there. Um, I just don't think he's ever really going to accept the fact that Deku can just literally just be like goat status at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he will, but it's gonna be hard for him to
He
accept
definitely
that.
won't like Deku being stronger than him, especially in the eyes of like
Yeah,
society,
All,
like who's
all my
saving him.
exactly. Because
because
he says that he wants to be the richest hero of all time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he said he's
the
gonna surpass All Might.
yeah, he wants to pass All Might. And the thing is being embarrassed in front of All Might kind of triggers him too with that. And there's also the fact of All Might chimed in when Bakugo was about to pull the pin on his grenade and said, "If you let one more blast like that go, you're done,
Yeah, because he
disqualified."
was blowing apart the building, and like they even said, like why would a villain A blow up their lair, or B why would a hero destroy just a random building?
Yeah,
It's like it just doesn't make sense.
I think he just got some. He's got a lot of potential, but he's got some anger issues that need to be worked out for
For
sure.
sure. Yeah.
and then we're gonna jump ahead to the USJ because the stuff in the middle it's kind of important, like how the media breaks in and USJ tells us about how that ends up happening. And then we have Ida becomes president of the class. That's nothing too crazy
Yeah.
either. We were just talking about what we thought about it. We don't want to tell you guys exactly what happened. So obviously we think you guys should go watch it, especially now with it picking up.
Absolutely.
So with USJ, they're going. It's a training zone, and 13 kind of like runs the training zone. You can make black holes, and
And
it was planned that there was going to be Eraserhead and 13 and All Might there to help him train. And the villains got wind of this because they created a distraction at with the media breaking through the front door, and then they knew the schedule for this training. And this is where they were going to come and kill All Might once and for all. So I'm gonna let Daniel take over and tell us what he thought about the USJ episodes.
So the USJ section I thought was pretty interesting because we got to see like in depth a lot of the side characters' quirks. Like we got to see the frog chick Sue. She was able to actually like utilize her quirk
Mhm.
because during the USJ event, this like ghost rift guy teleported everyone to different areas of the USJ area. Uh, but they teleported them randomly, not knowing what the kids' quirks were. So luckily, Deku was with Sue, and they were put into like the water zone. And her quirk is being a frog, so she's like specialized for water operations, pretty much.
mm,
So we got to see Sue do some pretty cool stuff in the water. Then we also saw T Dub's favorite character,
That dude's
Mineta.
Mineta.
worthless. That dude's worthless.
He is
Not
worthless,
worthless
but
in the sense that his quirk might not help, but I do not like the character.
he's the comic relief basically. He's like the ultimate comic relief.
Yeah, had me
I find
laughing.
him to be I I find him to be very funny. But
With his sticky balls.
his all of
I knew that would get T Dub to giggle. That's the only reason I said it.
his his powers are all he named his powers off like grapes or some shit like that, and that's his suit's purple in the anime, and you know And his his main attack is like Grape Rush, I think it is, and he just fucking tosses a shit ton of those sticky balls at the villains. So
Which they do
No.
nothing.
Yeah.
if he gets them where they need to be, they do something.
The
Yeah,
one
if he has a
situation
good healthy day. He gets a good
Yeah.
night's rest and
has a good bowel
yeah,
movement.
make sure he gets bowel movement that day. So
Make sure he gets
a lot of these
his
side
morning nut in.
A lot of these side characters are definitely more considered sidekicks than heroes, but they're put in the hero class.
they ain't even sidekicks.
But I guess everybody has a potential in some way. But no, Minetta's my favorite character because he's the comic relief, but he's just the biggest pervert you'll ever meet.
Really.
So
That's also why he's Steve's favorite character.
He's rivaling Jiraiya. So
honestly, no.
Well, no, Jiraiya.
Dry has not made contact with anybody. So the one time he did, never mind. That's spoiler for T. Talk about it.
Don't be a bitch.
Hey, we're good. But no, the USJ I thought was really cool. Like Daniel said, they transport a bunch of characters away, and it's 3 of them. You got Mineta, you got Deku, and you got Tsuyu, all in the flood zone. I can't remember the other 2 zones. I think it was the cliff and maybe the
there was the landslide, the wildfire.
Okay, the landslide.
Yeah.
So you got the landslide zone, and that was with the electric guy. I do not remember his name. The other recommended character, because you got Todoroki and the
Momo.
one girl. They were recommended. They didn't have to take the test. They were just top recommendations.
Yeah.
And you get to see that what their abilities can do. The one guy can shock people, but it affects him. And when he does an ultimate discharge, his brain's just fried, and he's essentially a stick in the mud for the rest of the time that they're at battle. The one girl is pretty cool. She can create things. I mean, she created a conducted blanket. I mean, that might come in handy if they need a shield from a villain with electricity. And that'd be pretty cool. And
well, she can create anything.
Yeah, so if she can create but it's not gonna be strong. She's not gonna be able to create something that can take out All Might.
No, but she can create any item.
Yeah,
she can create weapons or
as long as she knows how to make it, what the
what it's made
genetics
of.
pretty much of it, the makeup of it.
Yeah, the chemical makeup.
So yes, and then you get to see who I've been excited to see. I want to see more because you don't get to see too much. You get a glimpse of Todoroki during the Heroes vs. Villains, where they thought the Invisible Girl was gonna win the game immediately because you can't see her, but he just freezes the ground and it's wraps. And then he also doesn't he freeze all the people in the zone because he was teleported himself, and he just freezes all of them. He's like, "Well, you guys better start talking because villains don't kill people. So, I mean, heroes don't kill people, and I want to be the best hero. So let's not make a mess of things." So and that was hyped for him. Obviously, I have hyped him up a lot. We haven't seen much of him, so before you guys start judging me, tell me I overhyped the man. Let's give it some time. But from what we saw, he's definitely him and Bakugo are my 2 favorite characters.
Yeah,
he's definitely a stronger character for sure.
Yeah, T, what do you think about it? Because I was hyping him up to you for the most part.
He could, other than Deku, he theoretically I think could be the second strongest. Because they're definitely not in their prime now.
Oh,
but
for sure,
when they
for sure.
hit their prime, I would say that he could definitely maybe be the second strongest.
So I'm gonna do a little spoiler. It's
No.
not
No.
I was just gonna say Todoroki's dad, but
let's still not spoil.
If we find out later, then we'll just know later.
How long is it until we find out?
A decent amount of time.
That's fine. My hero is really good right now, so I'm invested.
All right, well then I'll leave it be.
All right.
But
so
no,
what were you saying?
Go for it, T.
No, I was just saying that I think that he definitely has the potential to be the second strongest out of that class. And when I guess I don't know if they have a ranking scale of where they would be oh well we need this guy to go in because he's a top 3 guy type of all heroes. I think he could potentially
He's
hit
like a
like that.
first on the scene
So-
type of guy.
So
Not
there
really
is-
like that, but like basically like in case of emergency type, like bust the glass. Like, all right, we're throwing him out there because
Like we
he's
know
he's our trump,
strongest. Yeah.
trump card type deal.
Yeah, that makes
Just
sense.
throw him out there and let him do it. Just freeze everything or just catch everything on fire.
I want to see him and Deku fight. I think that'd be really cool. Him and Bakugo would probably be more interesting, but Deku being the main character. I don't want him to fight Deku until Deku can control it.
I think the first fight of Bakugo, I think he freezes him. Like, I feel like
Oh yeah.
He'll
he
just
gets
blast out, brother.
Yeah, he gets underestimated, and so
I know
I think
Sean
Bakugo
wants
tries to take him.
spoil anything.
Like he thinks he can just do it easily, and he's like, "Nah, it's not." And he's gonna freeze his hands or some shit to like where he can't use his power, or where he can't sweat. He'll cool it down enough
I didn't think about that. That's
so that he can't
very
sweat.
Yeah, that's
That's a
very
good point.
Tito?
Um, I know a lot of what happens here after, and I can't spoil it, and it's kind of hurting me. But no, the USJ, it's really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed how it was originally set up, and then how everything else happened in the midst of them starting to go towards the different training grounds. So
I also like All Might pulling up at the end. It definitely makes
That
me
panel.
excited for.
You guys
Yeah,
haven't
it makes me
rated- I don't know how
excited.
they did the visuals, but the panel is just
I'm
Panel's really
excited.
good.
to see
Yeah.
the panel
how,
is really good. The visuals are interesting.
Yeah,
in the-
I'm
in
excited
the
to see how it's
anime.
going to go with him pulling up.
So.
Because the villains were even getting ready to leave, and
because they
he pulled
came for
up, and
All
they're like,
Might.
"All right, yeah." They're like,
Mhm.
"All right, maybe we can still get our plan." Because was it Deku who said it was like, if they're going to strike, it's now because otherwise security's going to go up
But
a decent amount.
we also said that the way the anime did it and the way the manga did it were different. You guys said that the anime made it seem like the heroes were staying, but the way that it's written, it makes it seem like that
They were
their
trying
time's
to get
over.
out.
They're gonna bounce and regroup.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the anime, they were saying like it's game over, and then
He pulls
when
up.
All Might shows up, the like main evil guy with the hand on his face said,
It's
"Oh,
Tomaru. I looked
we
up.
get a continue," and continues in quotes like in a video game when you lose and then you can click continue so
Mhm.
you can keep playing.
See, in the manga it says this is to be continued. As in, I took it as this to be continued future because the help's already gonna be on the way because Ida's going, All Might just got here, and they just feel like they're playing.
In my
just ruined.
in my head, I feel like that won't be the case though because the whole reason they're there is to kill All Might, right?
But they wanted
if they get the
provide
chance
no
to-
security help.
Well, they don't care if they die, right? They don't care if they die in the end. All they're there to do is to kill All Might.
No, but they
So
don't
since
think
All
that
Might
with
showed
the help
up-
that they won't be able to do it since he'll have help.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that before the help gets there, because they obviously have a space of time before help gets there,
I don't know.
they're gonna try to kill him.
Yeah, I
Because
see
who
where you're
knows
coming
when the
from.
next time they see All Might is, right?
Well, that's the
Where's your
reason they
come
brought
from?
Nomu. That's literally the only reason they brought Nomu, because Nomu was created as a counter to All Might.
Yeah. So no, I think
Oh,
that
you can
the
tell that.
volume was pretty awesome. Yeah, you can tell it because Deku punch, which is All Might's power,
Punch him and did
did
nothing.
nothing. Obviously,
His first punch.
All Might can control it and do 100% of it, so it'll be a little bit different.
Well,
But you also
Deku
see
can
that
do
the
100% of it too. He just
that is
with
true.
shadow.
But I feel like with the more experience, I feel like All Might's is just stronger because he's had it longer.
It
with
is.
experience.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Well,
maybe
yeah,
not
he's-
anymore, because he's losing his
Yeah.
power.
So yeah, I think that with the help going to be on the way, and that's probably why they were confident in All Might being able to, but then him being Nomu being able to take out All Might, that maybe they thought that with help going to be on the way because Ida's been gone for I think about a minute now, so that's probably enough time for his quirks to get into there. But we don't know. We're gonna see, but we're gonna wrap this up. We obviously didn't tell you guys about Eraserhead, what he could do, because I feel like that's not something you want to spoil if you haven't watched My Hero, which a lot of people have. But if you forgot about it, go rewatch that part. Eraserhead
Very
is a
good.
dog by
Mhm.
far.
Oh yeah, dude, that fight scene is ridiculous.
So, what do you guys think? You guys,
I will say the one thing about Eraserhead, I thought it was cool how the villains pointed out when you blink, your power doesn't work. I will say that. I thought that was like a cool
they really thought
part
they were
about it.
doing
They're like-
something, but like it doesn't work for like however long it takes you to blink,
But
which isn't
that
long.
split second though, they could get their power on. quick.
But my
in the
thing
terms,
is,
in the
if they're
terms of anime, you know, a split second is a lot.
So let's say-
of time.
That's like a couple
let's
minutes.
say a split
Yeah,
second.
that's like 2 hours.
Say a flamethrower is going, and the player's a flamethrower. So once he blinks, it activates. But when he opens his eyes again, does it completely cancel it and stop it from the
But
flame? So the flame retracts, or does it keep going? Like if a missile was shot from a power, that's what I'm thinking, because it's their power.
Think if the missile is already like going, he can cancel out like if they have like any control or if they can fire another one.
Mhm.
But I feel like at that point it's already a projectile.
Yeah,
At
it's
this
already
point,
like a.
He needs some eye
object.
drops. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. He needs some tape and some eye drops.
Yeah, he needs some duct
He
tape.
needs
His
a lot of
glasses
things at
need
the
to
end of it.
needs to just have like a little spray that keeps his eyes dry.
Man, I think Razorhead needs a drink, is what he needs.
Yeah, he was a
he's
dog
gonna-
in that fight.
He's got a long day. He had a long day. He's gonna need a beer.
But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you did like it. If not, well, sorry that you didn't, but we don't need you here. But yeah,
We
but
like
if
you
you want to
even
argue, I'm all for arguing. I'll be in the comments. They should be in the comments too. But I'm all about an argument. So tell us what you guys liked about it, and tell us what your favorite anime is, and maybe we cover it. If not, I will have the playlist for our other podcast probably right here. Then you guys can go check out, see if we covered it. No, not over there.
Fair?
Down.
We'll figure out where it's going. Probably right here, or here. So, but
We'll figure it
yeah, thank you guys for sitting and listening to us, and have a good day.
See ya.
Later.